What's up, y'all? The floor is yours. Is here for another Sunday show. Y'all need to see some of these bloopers we be having this behind the scenes stuff going on. Y'all gonna have to I don't know, we're gonna have to record it one day and show y'all this. But we is here. We like 14 minutes late, but we in this thing. Derard, drop the intro. Let's go.
They the Roy's new podcast, who want the smoke? Coming raw and uncut like who want this dope? Whatever you want, they for sure to cover the topic. From racial issues to fashion flies to cockpit. Y'all ain't never get it like this, cause they ain't never did it like this. We on our this the way the cookie crumbles for y'all. She gon' bring the inspiration to all. You know what's up with her. And this year manifesting is the vision. And y'all gon' love TJ cause he the realest. From the heart of them all, they the start of it all. You looking for a holler and holler at Gerard. The professor, nothing lesson, coming at you with the lessons. Get your edge if you knowin' what's good for you. They educated, but they still keep it hood for you. Won't need another, this one here really do it for you. Baby, all love is yours. Yeah, baby, I'm all love is yours. Baby, come down to love for is yours. Let me show you how love is yours.
Had to hit that note. Y'all know I had to.
Wait, I was muted and I was trying to unmute so I could hype you up. And then somebody got in the chat and they messed up my unmute. You better sing, Debbie J. You better sing.
Yeah.
Let me find out that's your song, man.
If you didn't know already, then you behind on the times because Debbie J turned up to it every single time like it's the hottest song. Like Debbie J is the hype man for the song.
She said like it's the hottest song.
Hottest song ever. It's at the top of the charts. We at the Billboard number one.
Yeah.
Yes. So we is in this thing again. As always, y'all, make sure that you have liked the page, followed the page, all the pages on all of the platforms. Okay. We ain't at no different tags at different places. We always, the floor is yours. So connect to us there. Make sure that you share today's show. Share it to your page, share it to your groups you in, share it to all your little private stuff. Put it out there. Get us connected to everybody. All right. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you, crew, for being here with us yet another Sunday. And we got a few more days to celebrate Women's History Month. Hey, I see.
Hello. How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
I told them late. I'm in a play, so we'll talk about that later. But I have rehearsal, so I have to kind of, have time with y'all and have to have time for that too, right?
You're right on time because everybody else was messing up and late. And, hey, did y'all see somebody that shouted themselves out?
Yeah.
Hey, Chad.
Yes. Okay, Chad.
What's up?
Shout out, Chad. What's up?
Hey, Chad. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Debbie J, Sister Kiki.
Hey.
Gerard. My man, JD.
Yes.
You miss me?
Like a mug, man.
I said James.
Oh.
No, not y'all girls. I would hate to be messing with Flint.
All right, y'all. So just a few more days to celebrate that Women's History Month. Shout out to our women that are here on the show because I know y'all is some move makers and I'm here for all of the things that y'all are doing. And we just always want to celebrate women, women's history, women's culture, women in society. So we just turn it up for the women, because this is our last Sunday of Women's History Month. So we got to do it. Debbie J, I'm passing it to you.
Well, I'm going to start off the same thing. Happy Women's History Month, y'all. We making history. Come on. So I just want to reiterate what Miss Cookie done said. We need y'all to get on our platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, What else we got? Because listen, Flexton dropped the bomb on us and told us some good, wonderful news that's coming up that we're going to share with y'all at a later date. He is behind the scenes working, making sure this is the baddest, the coldest, the most popular podcast out there. So we need y'all to go to every one of our platforms and go like, share, subscribe, and call your people over and let's start having a watch party because it's going to get big over here. 2022 ain't ready for what the Floor is Yours podcast got going. Shout out to you, Flex, for always working in the background. We're going to bring you to the light, bro, because you be on it. You be on it. So the title, let's just jump into the show. So the title for today's show is Deadbeat Dad or Irresponsible Mom. That is loaded. Why do we see so many single mother households? To be sure everyone understands, we are considering who is responsible for households where men are absent. I got a stance on that. Of course, there isn't just one right answer, but we will spend the show discussing this challenge. But before we start, we're going to get James D, we want you to get the opportunity to start the discussion on the show because this is one of your ideas and we know you're going to always get us right. So go ahead and, hold on. Yeah, go ahead and start that discussion and let us know what we're talking about today.
You sure?
I'm sure. I had to make sure.
All right. So there's a video that went viral recently. It was a mixed group of individuals, men and women, that were having a conversation about what we're going to talk about today, which is basically their topic. They were talking about the women can't raise boys to be men, and they were saying that a man not being present in the household is the fault of a woman. So because Legs don't like us on here cussing and shit, we got an edited video that we're gonna play right now, but full video is like 3 minutes long, and if people want to see like this individual's full opinion that he's expressing, that this is not the views or what's the comment that you like to say, Debbie J? These are not the views and opinions of
The Floor is Yours.
Yeah. This that man. But if you want to see the full video, we'll put it in the clip. But right now, we're going to show a short edited version so everybody can have an idea of what we're talking about. Some of you may have already seen it. Please go ahead and drop the video for us.
80% of black males who are in jail come from single mother homes. So don't sit here and preach to me how y'all do such a great job of raising kids.
So where's the father? Where's the man in the household?
Okay,
where did you go?
I can explain that. Let me explain that, please. Because let me tell you a stat that should shock you, all of you. Did you know there are 2 times as many black women with children than black men?
Damn.
What does that tell you? Well, I'm going to interpret that for you.
Here we go. Okay.
It tells you that women are fucking the same man.
Boom. Damn.
So y'all know he ain't shit, and you fuck him because you in competition with that other ain't shit to have that ain't shit nigga baby. Because you just saw a video on Instagram of Future, who got 9-11 kids, talking about how hard it is for him on Valentine's Day with all these listeners, and this nigga jumped right on the video to be there with him. So don't tell me how great women are. Don't tell me how women care about marriage. Don't tell me how women care about society, because if they did, the last thing you do is continue to reproduce with somebody you know has shown he is not a father. You wonder why you have a man that is not there. It's simply because you didn't crowd that man to be your husband before you allowed that man to knock you up. Is that not a good enough answer, ma'am?
Okay. Before anybody on the panel says anything, I want to know, by show of hands amongst the panel and to our viewers that are watching right now, if you agree with him, please state it in the comments. Or if you're on the panel, if you're one of the 5 individuals on the panel and you agree with what he said, raise your hand.
Some of it.
Yeah.
No.
Damn, look at them ugly feet. Look like Bonnie Rubber.
Yesterday.
All right, and then so we'll wait for a few people in the comments to kind of say if they agreed or not, because I need y'all to stand on it.
I don't know. Mia got up. Mia like, I don't know. Now she's like, girl, I'm crossed up. And then who is it? Marshall?
Who else we got? Come on, y'all. I mean, because
No,
I don't want nobody backtracking later. Don't lie to her, Chad. Don't lie to her, Chad. Don't lie to her, Chad.
Hold on.
Don't lie to her.
Mia said some. Marsalis, I'm not exactly sure. Isn't it male or female? The choosing of.
Yeah, he said he partly agree.
It comes down to the choosing of your partner, male or female.
So, all right. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Like I said earlier, we just showed a edited version of the video. The full video is about 3 minutes long, and if you guys want to see that, if you haven't already seen it, we'll put it in the comments. I totally disagreed with what he said. Now, did he make some statements that were true? Yes. But do I agree with him? No. Here's the thing. Someone can be right and wrong at the same time. You can make valid points, but your overall thesis of what you're saying is wrong. And that's what I feel is happening in this situation. I feel that throughout the entire video, he was berating, belittling, and putting Black women down specifically. I just feel like if this is a dude that, is not getting no play, does he hate himself? Like, what's the situation like? Because he's like totally bashing Black women. And I think my main issue with the thing is about accountability. There was no accountability whatsoever. Like he put no accountability on men and basically said that women can't raise boys to be men, because if y'all did, 80, he was saying like 80% of the prison population wouldn't be males, and then he went on to say a whole bunch of other things. I'm sorry, you threw me off.
Oh, welcome to how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. So let's start. It seems like Cookie was the only one that did not agree with him. So I'm gonna start with you, Cookie. Why do you disagree with him?
So, and I think that I feel the same. I guess the same as what you put it very eloquently. Just as far as him having some valid points, because some of what he said holds some weight. But at the end of the day, with his statement about like not being married, like if you had gotten married, then you wouldn't be in this situation. Hell no, that's not the truth. Because there's plenty of people out here that got married, had a kid, got divorced, and still end up being a single parent. So at the end of the day, walking down the aisle, getting a ring on your finger don't make it last forever. So I don't agree with that. I do, however, somewhat agree that it can be very difficult for a woman to raise a man. And I can only speak from my own situations, my own circumstances. I don't have brothers. So like I didn't grow up in a house with boys or none of that stuff. So what I've learned about boys, a lot of it has been with my own kids. And so like as I'm growing, I'm learning and trying to teach them as I'm learning and going. So like I can't tell you what it feel like to be a Black man that's stopped by the police, because I ain't got a damn clue. I can't tell you what it's like to be a Black boy at school and having these issues or whatever, because it's not the same for a Black female as it is for a Black male. And I can give a prime example. I don't know if Little President in there listening or not, but he had an incident at school last week or a couple of weeks ago, I guess, to where a kid, I feel like, disrespected him, but he interjected himself in it. But a kid like put a dirty tissue in his face and then got in his face and pushed him. Well, from there it was on and popping, because I've taught, you got to protect yourself or whatever. But in that situation, one of my friends was like, but you're a Black man, if you go out and you do this and the police might shoot you and kill you. Well, shit, now I'm at a point, do I teach them that they're not worth anything so you can't stand up for yourself? Or do I teach you to stand up for yourself? But as a Black man, that's different than what it is for me as a Black female. I can't teach you that feeling. I can't share no feelings with you in that and tell you I've been there, I felt that, I've done that. So I do agree that that can be difficult. But however, ain't nobody gonna tell me that just because your mama a single mama, you finna become a statistic at all, period. Because just because you're a single parent does not mean that you're a bad parent. Yeah. Just because you're a married woman don't mean that you finna be married for the rest of your life and never be a single mother. So putting those absolute values on stuff don't make it sit right with me. I didn't like the way he was addressing people, blaming the women. It's all your fault. Everything you doing, you wrong. You made this happen, this, that, and the other. That's not okay. It's not okay at all. So that's why I don't agree with him.
I totally agree with everything that you just said. I think something that's important that we need to define, because I don't like people that make fake stats to push their own point or push their own narrative. Because we can be real about it. We know that back in the day, there's been a period of time where 8 out of every 10 households didn't have a father in that household. But times have changed. And if you look at current stats, I think it's 40%, 46% of their females, they're black females, right? Let's talk about black women. 46% are black females that are single parents, right? And then there's 44, 43 and 5 that are either 2-parent households or just being raised by males only. So I think the first thing that we need to define is what is a single parent, because if you are not with someone but you are both taking care of your child, your relationship status is single, but you are not a single parent. You are a co-parent. But some people like to always push this narrative, well, if we're not together, I'm a single parent. That's not true. So, Deb, you said that you agree with him. So I want you to touch on the single parent narrative, your experience, and why you agree with it. And you better stand on it.
In 40 seconds.
I'm gonna stand on it. I have no issue with that. I think too, you said one of the things that you felt like he was berating and down talking to black women. I don't think that at all. I think because I watched some more of that clip and they was rude. The women was kind of rude, so you can tell that he was agitated in his answer. So it got a little heated. So that was the reason for his aggression when it came to him delivering this little speech that he gave. So I'm not charging that on him or his heart on that. Is because they was kind of being a little bit disrespectful too. But I will say this. A lot of the points that he said was absolutely correct. As women, we hold more power than we let on. We hold the power. If a man say that he want to have a baby with us, it's on us to say yes, no, or indifferent. I can choose any man that I want to have a baby with, just like any man can choose to have a baby with any woman. No, stop, baby, because listen, I have the power to let you come in me. I hold the power. I hold that. And if I don't want you in it, I have that choice to say, nah, bruh, back on up. Because you can't plant no seed without me. You can't have no baby without me. So with that being said, baby, I hold that power to say, yes, I will have a child with you. So a lot of women, they feel like they can trap a man, change a man. You know that whole narrative. Oh, if I marry him and have his baby, it'll be perfect, we'll be good. No, you can't. And they go within it with this immature mindset, thinking they're finna change someone. Just like, oh girl, let's forget about Future. Let's talk about Summer Walker that had a baby with her no good baby daddy that had 3 other kids that I already told. He showed you that he don't take care of his kids. But then she want to come around, well, he's not taking care of our kid. Well, baby, he done already showed you with these 3 other ones. Just because you Summer Walker and got money, more money than these other women, you think that you was going to change him? Don't get mad and go try to make a whole album about him, but do it. Make them coins off of it by all means possible. But that doesn't mean you finna change this man. He showed you who he was. You had the decision to say yes or no. The women hold the power when it comes to who I let have a child with me. We get to choose. And if you disagree, you disagree. I'm just saying. I just feel like everything that he said was right on. Delivery may have been a little wet because he was irritated with the women by all means. But then for us, being a single parent, I made a post about that on one of these Father's Day. I made a post about it. I cannot say that I'm a single mother because every time I call my ex-husband, he's there. Before I even call him, sometimes he's like, you good? You need anything? So I can't say I'm a single parent because I have such a support system. I need a mental break. My ex-husband for spring break, before I said I am mentally tired. I said, I need a break. This man called, he put in his off days to be off that whole week for spring break so I can leave. Diamond wanted to come back early for a birthday party or something. He said, no, let your mama have her time. So being a single parent, if you got that support of that other parent, I don't really consider a single parent. That's only speaking from my point of view. I can't call myself a single parent because if I need him right now to come here, he'll come.
Chad, we're gonna get to that. Chad wrote a lot. We're gonna unpack that in a minute because I definitely want to know more about that. But before we do, I want to hear what IC got to say. Why you agree with this man? Like I said, you better stand on it.
Well, yeah, now I did say some. Now, some of the things that Debbie pointed out now about the women, and you knowing these men got all these children, and you know he ain't doing right about them, and you still set out to want to lay down with these men to have these babies because most of them are looking at the financial stability of it. It's not even about a relationship with the father. It's about maintaining the status quo. I've laid down with him. I got this baby. He gonna drop off these coins, and I'm gonna lead this certain lifestyle. Now, that's truth in fact, because even younger, they teach young girls, go after this, the football players, because all this was thrown up in there. Now, I don't agree about what he said about raising, we can't raise, our sons and everything. I've raised one. He ain't in prison. Now, have he made bad decisions and choices? But yeah, I got on his butt. And I came from a place of being his parent, because whether that's male or female, I still have the right to steer my child out of the wrong direction, even when I see the world, or even some fathers that are not in the right place to put them in the right path to go where they need to go. So now I'm like, Cook, I did real well. Have I been a single parent? Nope. But even when my baby daddy, well, let me word it. My child's father went to prison because I don't like the baby daddy situation. My child's father went to prison. There's another man that stepped in when my babies were 4 and 2, and it's been there now. And then we had a child together. He was always there to help me with them, even in the event that one biological father was still there, one was in prison. We had one together. And so at the end of the day, he chose to be what the other two couldn't be or didn't want to be, or other one, I should say, basically one. And so at that point, I wasn't a single parent. I was a parent doing what was necessary to be what I'm supposed to be to my child. Because even if he's dead and in the grave or prison or whatever, and that's women too, because women go to prison nowadays and they in there for stuff too. So we all got issues, but we're talking about men. So I don't agree with the fact of, what he said about being the single parent and, men are in prison because mothers have done such a terrible job and all of that. I do agree with what he says about some of these little alley cats out here to be just out here, letting that cat ring out, and they want to get these kids and snatch them and, want this baby. When they push the baby out, all they hear is ching ching. It is truth and fact. Now we cannot deter from that. Now, could he have worded another way? Probably so. But it is some truth to it. And just because y'all ain't ran across the alley cat and y'all ain't got a baby by one, don't mean that they ain't out there.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. And I can agree that if his comments were saying, because here's the thing, the number one reason that it's hypocritical is because he's saying that women can't raise a boy to be a man, but we all know a man that was raised by a woman, so and not by choice, it's because they had to. Let
me get in on this.
Say it again.
I need to get in on this discussion too.
Okay, then I want you to touch on this too. I want you to touch on, because I think a lot of people are focused on, well, he did have a good point here and he did have a good point there, but let's point out the disrespect though, because first of all, by the post coming from a group called Kevin Samuel Fans 2.0, we knew it was gonna be some bullshit right there. And again, he made some valid points about accountability. But when he gave the analogy about a dirty house, he said if a guest messing up the house are the fault of the owner that let them in. And then he pivoted to a woman in the delivery room saying that women are the ones that are having the baby and stuff like that. Kind of a little bit of what Debbie was saying. But you didn't have that baby by yourself. It takes two people to have a baby. So if you own a house by yourself, you're responsible for your house. I get that. But if we're talking about a child, the two people that had that child are responsible for their kid. And he kept making insulting comments towards women. So Gerard, I'm sorry, Flex, Give your thoughts on why you agreed with him and how you felt about the comments that were directly targeted at Black women.
Yeah. So what most of you already said, yeah, he was kind of brash. Not kind of, he was very brash and to a point disrespectful. But also he did make some good points. So I don't want to totally overlook the good points because he didn't deliver them in the best manner. You know, part of communication, we always try to say, look what a person is trying to communicate and not always what they are actually saying. Because sometimes people may not say it in the best way, but they might be dead on about what they're trying to deliver. So, you know, again, it was a 3-minute video that we saw, and I'm sure that video that we saw in our group, and I'm sure the video was probably a hour-long segment. So we only saw a portion of it. Now, when we're talking about the points about disrespecting women, got it, understood totally. But the responsibility part is, I agree totally with Deb, and Marcellus kind of chimed in on this, that women do have power, and I want them to understand this, like, totally. You have to say so on who you allow in your space, and not saying that men don't have any say so who's in their space, but let's be honest. The women are who going to have the baby. So that's what he's saying. It's not that it only takes one, but they're the one that's going to carry it. They're the one that's going to be in the living room. I think he talked about it or something. If they died or something like that, it's on their body. So I agree with that. It is their power. But I think the topic is it whose responsibility is it, or who's at fault when we have a single parent household? Not meaning that you're a single parent, but it's only one parent in that household. I think we can all agree that ideally we would like for it to be 2. You know, most people, not saying it's a right or wrong thing, but why is it not 2? And the point he made is that women are allowing these men who've shown themselves to not be great fathers to come in their life and get them, in his word, knock them up. And I think that that's how it is sometimes, not always, but because you can't always weed people out in the beginning and find out if they're a good or a bad father. But we do all probably know people who are in a relationship with these men that are not good fathers, and they've shown themselves not to be good fathers, but for whatever reason, allowed them to be in a relationship with them.
No, you are responsible for your own actions and your own decisions.
I'm not saying that. I think it's 2 people though, because you're mischaracterizing what I'm saying. You are responsible for your own decisions. What I'm saying is, if like you go through a job interview, you interview to see if you fit that position. If you're a friendship, or if we're friends or business partners or whatever, I need to understand who you are as a person and what your credibility is, your credit score, all that stuff. We need to know who you are and what you're about before I allow you in my circle. That's all I'm saying.
Again, we are still saying, like, because the overall point of this video is that there are deadbeat dads. And this person is saying that those deadbeat dads are the fault of women making bad or irresponsible decisions with the men that they choose. And again, you can't fault a woman for a man's bad decision, just like you can't fault a man for a woman's bad decision. Give you an example. If I see decided to go to a bad neighborhood, and she had a pocket full of money in this bad neighborhood, and somebody came up and robbed her because she had all this money and she was in a bad neighborhood, she called the police and tried to report it, and the police officer said, well, it's your fault because you shouldn't have been in that bad neighborhood. Does that make sense? No. Now,
that's a false equivalency.
Is there accountability? Like, was that a good decision that she made? No, it wasn't. But that crime or that sin is not her fault. It's the fault of the person that committed it. And that's what I'm trying to focus on. I can agree that women should take accountability when it comes to choosing a good partner or looking out for red flags or warning signs and all that. But when it comes down to the decisions, because there are a lot of people that were irresponsible that became responsible when they did have kids. But when it comes down to it, you are ultimately responsible for your own decision. And I think it was crazy when I commented on the post, I'm defending women, and women came attacking me and was agreeing with him and said that women need to be more responsible with their body. Again, 2 things can be true. Yes, you should be more responsible with your body. But from the moment you had that child, if you did everything that you were supposed to do to care for that child,
Yeah.
and you owned up to your responsibility in that decision that you made, everything we can't keep knocking and hitting somebody and beating them over the head for a bad decision that they made 5, 10.
I think you're conflating issues though, because there is the issue of making the right decision up front. That's one thing. And then, okay, if you didn't make the right decision, because this dude is not a bad father, that is not the fault of the woman. What we talking about is we talked a show before about red flags. And again, to act like we don't assess a situation before we decide if we want to get in it or not, that's not honest. We're not being honest with ourselves.
No.
All I'm saying is we're conflating the two issues.
He said specifically that it's a woman's fault, and he said women are the only ones.
But that's not what I'm saying.
He said women are the only ones out here getting conned.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that. Yeah, but we're talking, but we're dissecting it our own points.
But a lot of these pregnancies and these babies that are coming was not even planned. Y'all over here letting every John, Dick, and Harry stick it in you. You have the power to say no.
That's victim shame. That's victim shaming though, because no. Let me tell you why it's victim shaming. Let me tell you why. Who's the victim?
Wait, James, because when you lay down with somebody, you know there is a 99.9% chance that you can have a baby. You either can or you can't. Now, if she's up here telling you one thing, I'm on a pill, it's just say that she told you she's on a pill, and then come to find out that she's not. Well, he still laid down her anyway, trusting her. You still know that there is a chance that you can get pregnant. So if you have this baby and now you done trapped him, you feel like you done trapped him, and he decides to leave, it was a bad decision on both parts. It was a bad decision because you thought that you could trap him, and it was a bad decision because even though you know that there was a percentage of a chance that you could have a baby by laying down with this woman, and you choose to leave, that's a bad decision on your part. But the problem of it is we have the power to say no. A lot of these pregnancies aren't even planned, so y'all are not even being responsible in the first damn place.
So that you made a very eloquent point, but you didn't answer my question, which was who is the victim? Because the victim is the child.
Why is there got to be a victim?
The victim.
Why does there have to be a victim?
What do you mean? If a child is going through life without
the child, there you go. The victim is the child.
So you're.
They didn't ask to be here from two irresponsible people.
Wait. Let me say this because I think we need to clarify something, because when I'm looking over here in these comments, by no means are we female bashing our own sisters. Let's get that clear, right? This is a conversation where you have some women, and I'm gonna read alley cats because Jillian brought it up again, and then she added deadbeats in there. So it is women that do have a tainted way of how they want to come about conceiving children. Not all women. We are not throwing all women in this category, nor are we throwing all men. So when discussions are put out on a platform, we are always going to have a different dialogue, and people are going to say different things, which we're going to respectfully listen to everybody and to dialogue. When we have an audience, we may put these questions or everything out there, and different people are going to give different responses. At the end of the day, it's respecting how you feel about it. Let's talk about it, and let's get some dialogue so that we are comprehending and understanding. But by no means are we saying that this is every woman. By no means are we saying this is every dad, every man. We're basically talking about how he addressed a specific type of woman is what he addressed in this conversation. That's what I took from it. Now, me listening to it, he didn't offend me. He didn't bother me. You know why? Because that wasn't me. That ain't how I work, and that ain't how I operate. However, do I know women that do it? Yes, I do. Now, when do we get to the point that we just really be honest that there are women out there like that, and there are men that do the same thing? Sometimes we get in a place that we just don't want to say that this is how it goes in life. We do have people that operate like this, male and female, and they are out there. There are people that do it differently, and it may seem perfect, but at the end of the day, we have all probably made wrong choices and decisions when it comes to laying down with a man or a woman. And so we've been guilty of it in some shape or fashion. It may not be the same as my sister Cookie or Debbie's, but it has happened. And we'll go on thinking that they're going to be the best. And at the end of the day, sometimes they're the best father, but they not the best man. Hey, let's say that. And at the end of the day, this is definitely not about, this, that, and other. As far as I'm concerned, as long as my children have come out good, whether the daddy show up or not. Let me just put that out there. As long as mine are thriving, he can go sit over on the curb for all I care. As long as I know what I've done to be what I need to be to mine, he ain't never had to show up. Because like I said, once again, if he dead in the grave of prison, I'm still going to have to be the parent. And if there are some men that are around that want to be a role model, I mean, where are they? Let's go there. Are they out there? We don't see big brothers and big sister programs anymore. So I'm throwing everybody in the bulge. I don't want to just.
This man said, don't tell me that women know what they're doing when it comes to raising a man when 80% of the men in prison are black. So don't tell me women know what they're doing. That's what he said.
But you focusing on
like I said, I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with
that. I'm not talking about you. He is blaming women for the failures of black men not being present in that child's life.
No, black men are responsible for their own self not being present.
That's what I just said.
But James, you focusing in on one portion and one part, and that was many parts of that discussion. And so I didn't even chime in on, but maybe one or two parts.
I got you, Miss Julia.
So I want to talk about exactly what I see said. We're not victim blaming at all, but I do want to just kick it to. I see. Did you see some comments you want to respond to?
Miss Saws was just saying some stuff, and I just told her I was understanding what she was saying. That's what I said.
What she said?
I see some good comments over here. Y'all is talking to us.
Let's get them. What you got, Cookie? Let's get some comments.
No, I'm just getting through the comments. It's like so much good stuff over here. I'm gonna let James go back to Chad's because or somebody that watched the culture. So y'all
everybody's saying some good stuff.
Yeah, I say, but it's really, really, really good stuff over here. One of the things I saw was Tierra when it said, I agree with some women on these deadbeats. And it's definitely some truth to that. If you with a man that got 5 other kids that he ain't taking care of, and then you come in expecting him to be a great dad to yours, I can get that. But at the same time, some of these ain't got no kids before yours. So when you came in and made this kid with them, you ain't know they was gonna be a deadbeat. Yeah. Okay, so that was like
somebody had to be the first kid.
Mine. Yeah. So you learning it as you go. Okay,
but wasn't that the comment? But wasn't that the comment that he made? Is that but Future who's already got all these kids? So I was specifically talking about that one. Again, I wasn't victim blaming. I want to be sure of that because anyone that's victim blaming, let me finish.
His entire video was victim blaming though.
But hold on, James. But again, we couldn't dissect the video, and that was a part of it. I'm talking about that comment. We already said that we did not agree with everything he said. And you talked about how he made some good points. I'm just talking about those good points and how we feel about certain aspects. We're not totally focused on everything, but we're pulling out certain parts and saying what's valid, and that's all.
Let me say this. The main thing is about accountability. And he made good points about women need to make better decisions. And what I'm saying is I agree with that. But regardless, I don't care what kind of bad decision a woman made when it comes to a man being absent and not present in his child's life. That is his fault. Nobody else. So I don't care what kind of good points he made. Yeah. When he can say a lot of really good things, but the overall thesis or the main point is that anytime that a man is not present, that's a woman's fault because she chose him. And I'm saying,
but we already agree with that though. So
that's not true.
But we already agree with that. So I don't want you to keep using that to debunk the good points that we're trying to say that was made in that video. That's all.
Miss Davis, Miss Davis said that it's heated in here, and I believe it is. I got the hot chips out tonight, baby.
How do you always have
Miss Davis is there. Go put them up there, Debbie J. Baby, it's hot tonight. We knew how to drink in the potato chips.
Hey, Miss Cookie, you up?
I don't even know where I'm supposed to be up at or what's going on. Hell, I'm over here in the comments and enjoying what's going on the timeline. Am I picking a topic? What I'm supposed to be talking about?
Girl, just find some.
So, I'll say as I'm going through, and matter of fact, it just popped up. Somebody said something about a gold digger. Chad said it. If I'm paying and got a relationship with my kid, she's a gold digger.
Okay, this will be the question and do this.
I've seen it about child support. That's where I was going. That's where I was going. That was my walkthrough to get there. So one of the things that we had on here, does paying child support make you a good dad? Hell no, it don't. Now, Finances absolutely is a part of taking care of a child, point blank, period. Because one of the arguments that I have had is I've been told I can't do nothing for my kid until I'm at a good place and I got all my stuff settled and I got a nice house and a nice car.
You can just be present.
Nah, fuck that. I need some coins too. Oh, it's Sunday. Nah, forget that. I'm gonna need some coins too because at the end of the day, kids don't survive for free. However, I would much rather you do your part, I do my part, and we ain't got to get the people involved at all. That's my personal preference. I like everybody just to be grown and mature in what they got going on. Yeah. Like you can have your whole little setup at your house to where when they come to your house, they good there, and I ain't having to send stuff, I ain't having to buy stuff, I ain't having to do stuff because at my house they gonna be taken care of and they gonna have everything that they supposed to have. And I feel like if we are not together under one roof, that's how it should work. I should not rely on my baby daddy to take care of my household, and nor should he rely on me to take care of his when my kid go over there, because Cookie gonna hold down the fort at Cookie house. Cookie don't need it, but I need you to do the same. So I don't think that the financial part of it makes you a good parent, but do I think it's necessary as a parent? Yes, because ain't no kids surviving for free. And if you got them bougie kids and like all these video games and nice shoes and all the subscriptions to the Netflix and the Hulus and all this, it costs money.
I agree, Felicia, baby. Let me tell you something. I sure agree with that statement.
Preach. What you got? Read it.
She said it'd be crazy how everyone is quick to criticize single parent households, but I've seen two parent households do more damage to their children than a single parent household. You're right, because they always want to sweep stuff under the rug. They over there living together, fancy, but it's more hell and brokenness going on, and these kids just suffering through it. So, Felicia, yes, honey, I agree.
Two dysfunctional parents are worse than one.
True. And then on the finances side of the child support, I put it like this: with my ex-husband, when we were sitting in the lawyer's office, it came down to child support, who was going to pay and how much it was going to be. I told him verbatim to his face, you pay what you can afford on your worst day, because I never want you to get behind on child support and go to jail. I'd rather you be present at all times. And what he paid, can't even pay his car note over here. But I'm just saying, I wanted him more present than I wanted his money. And a lot of people get that so twisted. Well, I'm going to get him for everything you got. Well, baby, can you get his time so he can spend time with his child, baby? Can we do that? Because I'm tired of y'all trying to use the money.
Let me tell you. Now, Debbie, I'm giving you a high five too today.
He already know.
Because I have said this too. Because I've watched my daughter struggle, even though he was throwing money. When my baby needed that emotional support of a father, and then domestic violence comes and all this, and you want to talk about you going to beat him up. She needs your voice on the phone. I need you calling her. I need you to get there and everything. So sometimes, like, I have to find the balance. So if I'm going to say something, I want the balance of the two. But you definitely need to be present in your daughter's life, your son's life, and that's mama's too. Because sometimes we be looking at how these kids, we just talking about the money from the daddy. But like I said, now in the times that we're living in, you got more men raising children because the mama's walking away or they ain't showing up. So it's a double. I mean, we just do it one way, but if we go down the middle, it's the same thing. But when it's time to put the child support on the mother, if the man got the kids, then we don't want to pay nothing. Well, I ain't gonna say me, but they don't want to pay nothing. When I let my son go with his daddy at 10 because I want him to be with his dad, because I can only take him so far. I sent child support back that way. I didn't keep it in my house saying, well, just because you got him, I'm gonna keep this money. Hey, present and financial, it needs to be a balance somewhere. Now, some men are just not mentally capable of being present without chaperones. I mean, mothers either. So what do you do then? But there needs to be a balance.
So I see this comment that say some women want money, but if you're on child support, he can't give that time if you need him to work. If he's willing, time for his children is more important.
And it's called balance. BALANCE, balance, baby. Because everybody got to balance.
Because
we have to balance being a mama. We got to go to work and be a co-worker. We got to be the one, whatever. Even if you're married, you got to be the wife to your husband. And a man can do the same thing. You get off days. It ain't always that you got to work, this 24/7. You got to find somebody. Now, that's another excuse right there now. Come now, what's his name?
Yes.
Carlos.
I got a full-time job. I'm a full-time dad. I'm not gonna fall blame the excuses. I think the best way that I can put it is like this: if a kid came to his mother, his single mother or whoever, and said, "Mom, I made all A's and I've been really good at school, and I just really would like a birthday party this year because I've never had one before." If his mama looked at him and said, "I ain't giving you no birthday party. I got, I paid the rent and I gave you some food. That's all I got to do." Or if the kid came and said, "Mom, I've been working really, really hard and I really, I really wish that I could have this jersey or whatever he wants." And she said the same thing. "I ain't buying you that jersey because I gave you, you got the roof and you got some food." And every time that kid wanted something extra, he got shut down because he got a roof and some food. To me, that's equivalent to the other way when somebody always saying that their kid needs extra and then somebody want to throw in their face, "Well, I sent you child support." Child support is for basic necessities, but kids come with extra and extracurricular.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just not good enough. So that's the point that I was trying to make.
I like this comment that Miss Julian said, but let's be clear. Let's stop acting like these child support checks paying mortgages. The average man pays $300 per month on child support. That's exactly what I was saying. Give me.
Well, I don't know them type of men because I know some getting $1,000 checks. I mean, I don't know three.
That's the point that I was trying to make. Give the least amount that you can afford, even on your brokest day, because I'd rather you be present and not go to jail because you're trying to pay that $1,000 a month and because price keeps getting inflated. Like what you can afford on your worst day, that's what I want you to pay each month because I want you present. So I'm 100% with that.
And so let me say this:
But why not pay the best that you can do on your worst day, and then on your best day pay more? Because that's what we doing. That's what everybody else doing. That's an excuse.
So in my situation, on mine, my child support was $400 when, and I got a divorce, and my baby 22 now. For the time that we were divorced, I never went back for a raise. I never asked for anything else. Let me say this: why? He paid the child support, but he also provided and did for two of my children that weren't his, even when we got the divorce. To this day, he walked my first one down the aisle before we had a kid together. So there's a different level when it comes to this money thing and child support, when there's a respect level and a rapport and a relationship that you have with your children's fathers or your children's mother. So I never took him back for a raise. I never asked for anything, and whatever was asked for, he went over and beyond because of the fact I wasn't that one always just saying money, because at the end of the day, I still had to provide for my children too. And if that was me, where I wanted to live, just because I choose to live in a nice neighborhood and my mortgage is whatever, that's not for him to have to balance out the mortgage because I chose to live there. That's what I wanted me and my children to have. Now, what he gave for child support on what was needed for the babies, that was fine. But if I choose to drive this car, if I choose to take them back and forth to school, and that's just me. It ain't for them to send me that money to have to make sure that that's done over there. But my life was a little bit different, and that's not making it perfect, because I had one that was in prison, and when he was out, he was a part-time dope dealer and had made good money, and they was want to give. So let me drop it down for Miss Sword. I was getting $33 a week, but let me tell you what I told him: you keep it, because at this point, baby, that 33 ain't touching nothing. So let me just do what I have to do for my child, because obviously you got it to give. You don't want to do it. So guess what, baby? Forget you, Jane. That's just what that's gonna be. That's real life. Yeah, we won't talk about the real stuff. Yep, baby daddy didn't want. Now he was a baby daddy. Baby daddy was making that change and doing stuff.
You were doing some change for that change. That was back when you were
$33
but all right. So we got here. Let's see. Yes, I'm seeing more broken homes with a very large gap of child support wars in the middle. The whole needs of the children are overshadowed by large egos, pride, and unhealed trauma. Let me not forget straight immaturity and the infamous narcissist out there. Girl, you just said everything. You just wrapped it all up in a pretty bow and gave it. That is it. I mean, that's absolutely it. And it's being about the grown folks and not about the kids that is in the middle of it getting pulled this way and the other. I saw somebody say earlier that whatever we was talking about, it didn't have to be a victim. The child didn't have to be a victim. But in this situation, when we fighting about stuff like this, it is a victim getting caught up in the middle of it, and it's that kid. So yes, agree.
Well, we can wrap it up, and then
It's real out here.
Very real.
Yeah.
Y'all have did so good. I thank y'all for
The
interacting with us
audience has
today.
really been so interacting tonight, and we love it all.
Yes. I feel, Chad, we're gonna have to come back to you. We're gonna have to like do a continuation or something, because it was a whole lot of stuff over here that we just got to talk about and we need to know about. Yes. She said she got a t-shirt, a bumper sticker, and a tattoo. Okay. Okay. Gerard, did you say you had a call that was coming through? What we doing?
You're on mute.
I knew that. No, I didn't. Yeah, so do got a call coming through. So we'll go ahead and read a couple of these comments while we're waiting on the call.
Davis said, "What's on James' mind?"
I'm reading comments, but I have a whole bunch of opinions.
We got that 100 messages tonight, baby. Y'all typing down there.
Yeah. Okay, y'all gotta keep on talking. Cause Cookie got to get the bag and get the check. Cookie got to be at work at 11 o'clock, so I got to go close my eyes right quick, so I can work from 11 to 5. So I see y'all. Y'all keep it going, cause I'm coming back and watching this when I get off.
Night.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Hey, Flex, while we waiting, can I deviate from the topics? Cause I saw another topic that came up. I was gonna put it in the group.
Hey, let's just take this call and then we'll go to your topic. So we got a caller right here. Caller, state your name and where you're calling from, please.
How you guys doing? My name is Mars. I'm calling from Virginia.
Oh,
hey Mars.
Hey, how are you?
Hampton Roads, Virginia.
Yeah. So if y'all don't know, Mars, he's been a guest on a couple of the culture podcasts, so he's not new to it. So appreciate you dialing in. What you got for us, brother?
He's new to us.
No problem. You guys have been doing a great job tonight, and it's definitely a hot topic, and I appreciate you guys for taking the time out to talk about it. It's heavy. And I know we have some mothers here, and Black mothers at that, and I'm a father being myself with a Black mother as my wife, and we are together. So I do not have this situation currently. But what I would like to say is that the victim, talking about the kid and what Miss Cookie said, she's out now, but she definitely said that it made more sense that the child is the victim when we're caught up in all this. And that's what happens. And when we like to throw around blame, and that's what the problem is in this situation. The guy at the beginning of the video, he was very disrespectful to women, especially Black women. And it obviously that somebody hurt him. And it could have been his mom, it could have been anybody, but he was obviously hurt and he was very disrespectful. So he did make some points, and it is up to women as a whole to decide who to lay down with, as well as the man who to lay down with. And then at the end, you have 9 months, less than that, to decide if the woman is going to hold that baby. Number one, we're not going to get into if they want to hold it or not. That's a different topic. But as Ms. Debbie said, it does come down to the women, because for 9 months, all a man has ever done while that woman is holding that baby is come. So after that is when you get into all the extra stuff, and then that's when it becomes a problem like this sometimes, and sometimes it works beautifully. It doesn't matter. I know that all it is, we're talking about accountability and all this other stuff, but for me, I think if both have an agreement, no matter which way that goes, if the father's not going to be there, if the mother's not going to be there, because there are situations, but it doesn't matter. It comes into agreement, and if the father is somewhere else in a deadbeat, that's something else, and there's a strong woman there. But I did say that if a young man does not have a male figure, he's gonna resort to finding somebody. And I said, Future, who's the main topic, he's crap as a father and as a man and how he treats women. So we already know that there's gonna be a role model, whether it's a rapper, whether it's an athlete, but a male figure in the home, which the mom chooses. That part. That's what. So there's gonna be a role model somewhere. But you guys did a great job. That's just my 2 cents. I appreciate you guys.
I got to thank you what you just said. Thank you, Mark from Virginia.
No problem.
Thank you.
I have a question because, okay, you said that the men are going to find a role model regardless. Do we put this on these athletes' head that since you play a certain sport and you're good at it, that you have to be a role model now? Why do they have
to? No, not at all.
No.
But what the thing is I'm saying the young man is going to find a role model, whether that's the local gangsters, whether that's the hottest rap, but he's going to follow a role model. Is what's going to happen.
But a lot of people do say that. Well, you got all these people watching you. We pay all this money to get your jerseys and this, that, and the other. And you out here, we paying money for your concerts. whether you're a rapper, singer, athlete, or whatever, and we feel like they supposed to be good people because they're in the limelight.
I think that's more on line of what's ethical. If you have a large platform and you can reach the masses, I think there is some ethical responsibility to be careful how you showing yourself. Because just be honest, whether you like it or not, we've all looked up to somebody outside of our home to say, like, whether it's our favorite athlete, whether it's our pastor at the church, whether it's someone at the local Boys and Girls Club. They have influence over people. So all I'm saying is people do have influence over people's lives. So when you have a world stage, whether you're the president of the United States or your local mayor, how you show yourself does matter. And does that mean that every child is going to follow you? No, not at all.
But a role model and a responsible parent are two different things. And when it comes
James, I think again, see, James, what you keep doing though, bro, like you come over the point to deflect from one. What I'm saying is they can both be accurate. Do people look up to rappers and people in the street and people on this podcast? I showed Deb a comment today where someone shouted her out and said that her words have absolutely gotten her through difficult situations. So what I'm saying is that as a whole, when you reach the masses, you can influence people. Does that mean that your parenting duties go away because of other people out there? Not at all. But I'm saying that doesn't.
But Deb also asked, do they have a responsibility? And that's the point that I was getting to.
I think they do, though.
That when it comes
so what
down
I'm saying
to it,
basically is that what Mr. Willie said is that at some point, I'm gonna say my 2 cents, I'm gonna be out, but it's on the woman basically to put that right role model or say this is the right role model for your son, and that's all I'm saying. And to James's point, it can be future, and even Tommy, the guy that was saying this disrespectful to women, he's a role model to somebody's son. So I'm just saying that's it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So basically, and then when we put it back on us as parents, if you don't possess the qualities to be an example, it can't be on the parent. I mean, I'm just sorry, because some parents just do not. That's how you have different ways that children act and respond. Because either what you put in front of them, I guess you got a point. If they set the example, then if that's good or bad, that's how the kid ends up rolling out of the house. So it just depends on what examples we're setting. If they're not good, then that's what the kid gonna follow. You're gonna either influence your kid or you're gonna impact them. That's just what it is. Truth of the matter is, there's a little boy and there's a little girl watching all of us as male and female counterparts, and how will we impact their lives? So I agree. So when they turn out a certain way or they do something wrong, now it goes back, is that on the parent, since we the examples? And then if they throw it back on us, then sometimes we're gonna be defensive about it.
Miss Cookie, you need to, man, not Miss Cookie, I'm sorry. I see you need to make that a shirt.
No. What,
Sure,
impact.
I can't. Well, let me see if I go this way. See those pictures over there on the wall. This bottom one right here, it says, "There's a little girl watching me. How will I influence and impact her life?" And the hashtag says, "I will not fail her."
Yes,
and that shirt came about because I have two daughters that are definitely different, and my 20-year-old is me from 20-year-old, from a teenage, and I see me in her. My 30-year-old is the purest form of me that I could have ever been, because she saw me in the struggle of being a young parent with her, because I had my children 18, 20, and 26. So along the way, my children, even my son, saw me be a different stage of a mother. My last child probably has the better part of a mother being a mother, because I learned differently and did things differently when I got to her. My oldest one seen my brokenness, my struggle in relationships, and all of those different things like that. My son, how it looks to be with your dad, or me not, correctively communicating with the father. So at the end of the day, now I can look at all of those 3 steps and say that I had 3 different children that got a different part of me. But in the end, now that I'm in a whole better place as their mother, they get to see all of me and understand that it don't have to be this way. You can choose to do it another route. I went there. You can go another direction. It don't have to be the way I even showed you the examples that were wrong. And to see my daughter now love differently, she teaching me a different path, and I'm learning from her. But all because there was a choice I had to make and change on the way I presented relationships with them, whether that was with another man or their fathers. Because even though they was deadbeat, they didn't never hear it come out of my mouth. So I'm gonna say that. Okay.
Okay. Well, I got a lot I could say about this, and we can keep going and going and going, but I guess we're about to run out of time. I will say this though, that there was a mixed group in that video, and not a single man stood up for those women. That was whack.
Just didn't feel like.
And also the same energy that IC just gave about how women need not fail their children, men need to have that same energy too.
Well, no, I did say that about the shirt. I did. That's more of a unisex. So I only did it because that was for my daughters. But me and Blessing, what you say?
Don't steal my thunder.
Well, go ahead and keep going, but don't just screw up what I said either. So you better get it together.
No, but this has been a really good topic. I'm looking forward to going through the comments, talking trash to some people that I don't agree with. I hope y'all ready for it. But before we close out, we got to pay a couple bills, so we're gonna kick it to a commercial. Flex, you got that lined up?
Oh,
that was the wrong commercial. So keep it going.
Oh,
we good. It was jumping though. I liked it.
I know, right?
Yeah, I was like, okay, we
don't know. One time, man.
Here we go.
One more time.
Your success ain't gonna happen overnight. It may take a year. It may take 2 years. It may even take 10 years. For some people, it might take even longer than that. But one thing I do know, as long as you keep fighting and staying consistent, you will make it. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, are you gonna make it?
Creed. Step in that water, step in that water, step in that water. Yeah. You gotta be willing to go out and get it. You gotta dive in it, go and get it. Step in that water, step in that water, step in that water. Yeah.
Step in that water, step in that water. That was it now.
Teresa said, what the hell?
Hey, I mess up all the time, man. We came back though.
It's all good. It's all good. But if you're in the Dallas area, check my man out if you want to get faded up. And, let's get to the most exciting part of the show, which for me anyway, which is IC's Love Note. What you got for us tonight?
Baby, let me see. I think I kind of spilled off into that. Let me get out the comments. Tonight, let's just go here. We seen a video. We all had, our different responses to it. I'm not going to say any of them are wrong because that's how we chose to, respond to it. So I respectfully respect everyone's response to it. What I will say this, collectively across the board, as male and female, women and men, may we get to the place that we choose to make better and wise decisions going forward. Now, some of us already have children, so we're already, in a whole nother space. So is there a place that we can get to that we can go forward differently with our children's parents or absent fathers or their mothers and all of those different things, so that collectively the children begin to heal and to see us in a different light, even if they've seen us not get along, do things the wrong way, right? Can we get to a place that they see that it can be better, even if we don't have to be best friends? Can we get on one accord, being what we need to be to the children? Can we find the balance to what is needed and necessary so that the children are no longer the victims, that for some of us, that they no longer have to walk in the pain that we went through or that we had growing up ourselves? Because a lot of what we're dealing with is something that we truly have seen within our own lives with our parents, aunties, uncles, and all that. Can we get to a place that our children no longer have to be the product of the dysfunction that we do not correctively sit down and discuss and release so that we can move forward as parents? Because in the end, the children are truly who suffers, and those children end up being adults such as ourselves that now have this same trauma that we move forward and we've raised them in it simply because we weren't even taught to address it. So my thing is, let us heal from the things that were taught to us wrong, that we've done wrong, that we've allowed, that we should have shut down, and it should have never gotten to a place that even was conceived and was, given life to breathe. And when I say that, I'm not necessarily talking about the child. I'm talking about all the things that we've harbored against how we felt about the dad or the mama. We need to just say, hey, what can we collectively do now so that we can heal from this moving forward? And if you don't have children or you're looking forward to have children, then sit down and really evaluate and talk to who your next mate may be on how you want to move forward with this. What in the event that it don't work out, because say, like they said, sometimes it does. You can get married and eventually get divorced. How will we move forward being what we need to be to our children in the event that we're not together? Can we still be parents that come from a place of love for the child, even if we no longer have love for ourselves? So what I would suggest is that we do a little bit more soul searching on ourselves, stop pointing the other finger, work on us, and then collectively sit down to communicate so that we are comprehending what each other are saying. And just basically heal, because this really is a healing process, so that our children don't have to go and be broken. It's living in brokenness. And then as they move forward in life, we have grandbabies that are still in the residue of our brokenness, our unhealthiness, our lack of communication. So my love note tonight is just to free ourselves from everything that we've been taught wrong, that we've done wrong in relation to being parents, choosing our mates and all, because we can't go back and change it because they're here. But however, we can move forward and change the trajectory of how it is for our children and our future grandchildren moving forward. So find the balance there. And at the end of the day, know that it's okay that we made the wrong mistakes. It's okay that we made wrong decisions. It's not okay to be disrespected. That's for sure. I want you to know that, because I don't go for it. Now, I will say that I don't go for the disrespect. And then at the end of the day, have the right to stand up and say, hey, I did do it wrong, but I don't choose to allow myself to follow there. But you ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. So we got some things that we need to work on. And as long as we're living, we can always grow, we can always change, and we can always make things better. And at the end of the day, that's my love note. Okay, just let's find some heal. Let's just begin to heal. Okay, and just move forward.
Therapy.
Yeah, rehab.
Just like that.
All right, y'all. It has been an awesome show, because we can go on for another hour or so on these topics that we hit tonight. But we have to wrap it up. We gotta give y'all time to finish doing and get y'all kids ready for school tomorrow. So, but before we go, we want to make sure we give each person on the panel that chance at their parting thoughts of the show tonight. Any thoughts of wisdom y'all want to give out to go on to the week? Let's hit it. Flex, what you got?
Man, you know what I always say? 8 billion people on this planet. It cannot only be about you. Figure out how to build and foster meaningful relationships. And I think that'll help easily help us navigate through the majority of our issues. So again, learn how to be respectful to each other, love each other. And again, life gives us enough issues. So back to the topic of the show. Be careful of who you allow in your life, man, because again, life is going to give you enough challenges and troubles. So don't make your life difficult by allowing the wrong people in your life.
Gotcha. All right, thanks, King James. What you got?
My parting thoughts. I want to talk to any woman that's watching this show. If you're watching this show, and I think we've been talking a lot about accountability. And I just want to say that I don't want you to feel that you are required or responsible or obligated to keep holding yourself guilty for a mistake that you made in the past. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's entitled to them. So if you know you made a bad decision when it came to choosing the person that you ended up having a child with, as long as you're doing the right thing now, don't allow anybody to guilt you or make you feel bad or make you feel the shame. I don't care how many people like or love that video or any other video like it, or how many people follow that man. That still doesn't devalue you as a person. So that's what I want to say. And that was the main point that I've been trying to make all night. Like, you don't let nobody weaponize your past mistakes.
All right,
that's good, brother.
Junior.
Man, you let me find out James missed his call.
Yeah, come on. Show.
Hey, right. Everybody, wait. Let that breathe. See y'all talking. Let that breathe. Don't steal my thunder.
I'm so sick of him.
That was good. You gotta let that breathe.
I see. I know you just gave the love note, but just give us a line or two so we can go and hold on.
Nah, I'm gonna end right there because James said a really good, end cap, and I'm giving flowers to James tonight as as a man that just came through and left his fragrance there. So I'm gonna let that sit there, okay?
Let that breathe, just like that.
Flowers for you, baby. Flowers for you.
Did you know that they said most men have never received flowers and the first time they ever received
James, baby, you got yours tonight from IC, okay? Okay.
We got to give flowers to our men more often. Would y'all feel emasculated if women gave y'all flowers?
No, but I like watches.
Oh Lord.
I mean, I was just saying because they said most men have never gotten flowers in their life.
Flowers die and balloons deflate. Give me the money and we'll be straight.
Well, James, what I gave you, these won't die. So I've learned to give flowers that you can sit in your home and just say, Misha gave. Okay.
Hey.
All right.
Hey, people loving James in the comments, man.
Yeah, Miss Souls is giving it to him, honey. I like what she said. We're letting it breathe, love. Yes, she has really been really.
Yeah, I appreciate that she spelled the word right too.
Yeah.
All right. So my parting thoughts is going to be nothing to do with the show tonight. The parting thoughts is going to go on with the climate of America right now and other countries. I'm gonna need y'all to save y'all money. Save y'all money. I don't know no other way to put it. I need you to be prepared. This is not no scare tactic or nothing like that. But we need to do better at saving our money and staying prepared for whatever may come. Because these politicians that are crooked are making decisions for our lives. And we just need to be prepared for what's to come because we never know what's coming. So save your money. And make sure you stay right with God at all times. Repent. If you don't, pray to God, to whoever you pray to. But
well, I'm gonna throw something in there, but you can tell them to save their money. You said because these politicians, but if they don't get out there and vote, because I worked the polls in March, right? And that was my first time doing it. I was a clerk with the judge. And to see the lack of Democrats that came out, we checked in more Republicans because the Democrats didn't show up. It was 25 out of a 12-hour period. So I got to experience firsthand how we don't show up for the state things that we need to do in our local, like your time, your state, and all that. Because so ain't nothing going to change until you get there first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because the balance are totally different. They had more opinionated questions about different things, gender, and if you should get paid if you don't do the COVID shot. They had it on the Republican ticket, but it was not on the Democratic. So I made it known, and everybody was like, "Oh, so you got to really pay attention." And this was my first time. And I was really shocked. So we better do better as a community.
Better vote.
Yeah,
make sure
it starts at the local level.
Huh?
I said it starts at that local level. You're right.
Yeah, and to watch
local
and
more
those
important
ballots were, babe. I'm like, wow, we don't got front and back. We just had the front. We didn't get an opinion on no other stuff, honey, because they
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. We spent.
Hey, real quick, I got one other thing to go. So we do got an upcoming show this Tuesday, man. It's going to be a good one, and it's kind of in the same vein of what we talked about today about respecting women. How James ended the show here, but it's part 2 of our love letter to women, and it's going to be yours truly, Flex. We got Jamel. He's been on the show before. Mars is the guy who called in earlier, and Coach G's from the Culture Podcast, and Torrance. He's if y'all from Texarkana area, y'all might know him. He's a friend, been known for a number of years. But we're gonna get on and we're gonna talk about how to love our women from a mental health standpoint. How is imperative that we are healthy mentally so that we can be what we're needing to be in our relationships, in our communities, in our jobs, and whatever else circle of responsibility that we may have. So tune in Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. Central Time on the Floor Is Yours podcast.
I want to be on there.
Well, come on. We'll love to have you. We got a space for you.
I'm coming. When I sing a love letter, because I do love notes, I want to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, boy, like an R&B band up there, boy.
Huh?
Yeah.
What you say, James?
So they looking like an R&B band up there.
I'm the lead vocalist. Okay, Deb, you want to finish this out?
All right. Also, make sure y'all go to all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, YouTube. Go like us on all platforms. Subscribe to us on all platforms. We have some exciting news coming to you soon because Brother is going to bring it to you. Listen, we enjoyed y'all tonight. It was an awesome show. For getting us over 100 comments. Y'all did y'all thing tonight. Thank you so much. When's the next time we're gonna be meeting again, Flex?
In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. You know, second and fourth Sunday. Yeah, hey, shout out to John. Hey, speaking of the topic, shout out to James. He came up with this topic, man. I reach up to him just to kind of shake it up so I don't do the same things in the same vein constantly. So appreciate you coming up with that topic, bro.
Yes.
And since James gonna be funny, I wasn't trying to show my nails, but I show them. We purple for royalty tonight. Thank you.
No. Yeah, but our next show will be the 10th of April.
All right, so welcome to another install. All right, this is the post show, everybody. So everybody who was watching the last show, y'all can leave, but we're about to get to the post show. Welcome to our edition of The Floor Is Yours Cribs. Deb about to show what's inside her refrigerator behind her. Deb, what you got?
Man, it's nothing. It's hold on. I only got 8%. I still can't unplug.
Well, you can just stand up and open the door.
Don't talk. See, listen, my housekeeper come every other week. It's her.
Bougie.
Flex.
So it's a little messy right now.
Oh, we got. Oh, wait a minute. We got ketchup. We got.
Not much.
We got unorganization.
My Hello Freshes come in.
Okay.
Who left that empty cup up in that joint?
Oh, this is for my Panera bread. Don't. Yeah.
Well, she got a.
Throw that away. Next.
Look, she got the skillet. I ain't seen a skillet in the refrigerator in a long time.
Whoa!
Listen,
you got a maid with no Tupperware.
So hey, that's standing there till she come back and wash dishes.
Girl, I'm talking about you got a big skillet, not a little pot.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn, some Tupperware for Christmas.
Man, for real.
We're gonna show y'all Flex fridge. This man got the cleanest kitchen in Texas. I'm telling y'all.
Hey, listen, you see my fridge, this is gonna last about 5 seconds. All I got is mustard and ketchup.
Oh.
That's it. I'm a bachelor. I eat out.
Exactly.
Cool. All right.
But man, it's been awesome, y'all. April 10th, we'll be back. My birthday, April 7th. So I want some presents on April 10th. I'm just saying, I'm gonna be 38.
Gonna get on here and shake a little something. She gonna shake a little something for y'all when up on the 10th.
I'm taking what I got. But yes, come back and see us. Let's do the dang thing. Hey, I got a topic suggestion. Who gets the plate first, the man or the children? I want to discuss that because I have some very tough thoughts on that.
I guess it depends if the man bringing home the food or the kids getting food stamps.
Hey, if food not a problem, shouldn't everybody get a plate at the same time?
I'm just saying, some of these
that is my thought.
Some of these men won't be getting no food if the food stamps weren't coming through because of the kids. That's my joke. Don't throw nothing at the screen, y'all.
So the kid can be like, "Hold up, daddy, I'll put the food on this table."
Yeah, boy.
Why is it still a debate? That is my question because I have so many views on that. So yes, let's close the show. We're sorry, Flex.
Next time.
Debbie tried it.
Love y'all. Bye.
It's my turn to tell y'all about my big bro Gerard and the podcast crew. From TJ to Realist, Miss Cookie the Professor, and you can't forget about the inspiration shit. They talk about it all, got advice for us all. You'll never know how deep the talks would go. On the weekdays, the weekends, they be going live with the topics. Then they do the segment where the floor is yours. You can post your comments, You can post your statements, yeah. You can ask your questions, They can help you get your life moving in the right direction. If you need advice on marriage, advice on finance, advice on healing, advice on credit, this the podcast that you need to check out. Go ahead and tune in, you'll feel what I'm talking about. Baby, don't get up, it's yours. Yeah, baby, I'm the phone is yours. If it come down to the phone is yours. Let me show you how the phone is yours. The floor is yours.
Good